Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, DeHancast here. We got On Tour Season 3 playoff action going to be coming at you, kicking things off with the Round of 4 Group A action. So we've already done plenty of pregame here as far as the format, as far as what we're looking to expect, and in the next 3 weeks here are dedicated to the On Tour Season 3 playoffs. At the end of these 3 weeks, we will know which team is going to join Sync Esports, representing the North American European region, and competing for a large sum of money, as well as, of course, the pride at the Han Tour World Finals in Bangkok, Thailand. So, boy oh boy, here we go, kicking things off. Willowkeeper taking on Team Coolio in what should be a very interesting matchup indeed. Coolio, they got a lot of gold history. They've been diamond a couple of times here and there, but you look at the players, between their players, they have plenty of top-tier play experience. So, this definitely should be an interesting matchup. With that said, of course, I'm joined by Minnie here. Minnie, we're ready.
I know, man. It's first game as well. I'm really looking forward to it. And, yeah, it's going to be such a good game. I mean, I'm good friends with both of these teams. So, yeah, my heart is a bit split both ways, Brokey. I don't know who to root for.
Don't root for anyone. Just root for some good games. There you go. That makes it easy right there. So, anyways, let's take a look as far as the breakdown and so far what's going on. So, to kick things off, we have the bands Swiftblade, Ophelia, Ravener, and Parasite. Very interesting Ravener band coming out by Lion. I mean, Tree, I don't think they've been running a whole lot of Ravener lately, unless I've been mistaken on that. But that's definitely a little bit out of the box initial band. I don't know if you have any insight on that or not.
What, the Ravener band?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Marcus Moy actually was a carry player for my old team back in Instant Reflex, and he was a mean Ravener alongside the Silhouette. And
they banned it, though.
Oh,
that's
really?
What I was getting at. Yeah, it was banned by Archie.
Wow. I'm really surprised.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, we've seen Boxy being like. I mean, have we seen Boxy? I mean, I've seen them play a lot of scrims with Ravener, so that could be perhaps the insight in that respect. But I'm really surprised they banned Ravener themselves, because Marcus Moore plays a very mean Ravener, actually. But I guess they're it's one of those heroes that I think they wouldn't first pick if they had the choice, but they obviously didn't want to give it up to Tree just in case they did, for example. So that could be the reasoning there.
Yeah.
But I know Boxy has been playing a lot in scrims as well as TMM, so perhaps that could be Fusion's up his sleeve sort of trick in that respect. But yeah.
Yeah, all right, so we'll see how that affects things as far as the draft goes. Definitely a strong draft by either side. Kraken into Magnus, Rhapsody into Andromeda, and now we see Bubbles, and there's the Clanks pick. We've been seeing plenty of that lately, especially in the hands of Willowkeeper. Baltzar loves to play it very well, very strong carry potential hero, so we got Coolio over here. They're going to have to find ways to deal with it, and it's not easy, as we have seen. So that's a strong pick for Tree over there.
Yeah, definitely, and it's one of those things that they almost always do nowadays. Obviously, most likely get like a defensive suit at tri-lane and then run Clanks in the jungle when he gets level 5 to really get the most efficient use of their resources, something that Tree really like to do. One thing I haven't really seen any team do against Tree when they do that kind of run that kind of strat, it's like an aggressive dual lane. When we think of aggressive dual lanes, it's sort of Tree who sort of bust them out. But I don't know, maybe it's the time where we see other teams start really trying to almost counter Tree with their own strats, perhaps, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, of course, the next year bans, and so of course we got the chance to interview both of these players here, or both these teams, I should say. A player from each team, Boxy from Tree, and RG Tiger, of course, from Coolio. You know, RG Tiger bringing up the point that I mean, he sounded pretty pumped. He really did, and I believe it. And feeling pretty good. And again, they are an interesting situation because they've had plenty of roster changes all throughout, and they had yet another one here, as he pointed out. Adro, unfortunately, unable to make it. In place, they got Super KGE, actually. Now, from my understanding, though, they are planning to run Storyfooter as their main support, though, when it's all said and done. Picking up Super KGE, they're obviously a great player, but then that's where the roles kind of come into play. So, they have some issues to definitely overcome here, from players playing maybe different roles to an extent, as well as just the team synergy as a whole. It's not necessarily there because they haven't really been playing together. So
exactly.
They're going to have to rely a lot on their star power and their individual skill status here.
Yeah, definitely, and I think something that Archtiger sort of somewhat touched upon is that I think it almost benefits that they're coming from almost not being known, and also puts Tree a little bit under pressure as well. Like, as Tiger said, they are the underdogs. They really, in theory, shouldn't win this game. But I mean, they're a great team. Don't get me wrong, but it puts Tree under the pressure that they have to win this game. Tree, they're not the maybe most experienced sort of team compared to sort of the likes of Sync, and particularly on a grand stage or a grand format like this, they can easily buck under the pressure. We've seen Tree throw games from time to time, so who knows.
Witch Slayer, Silhouette, Madman, Dr. Repulsor, Pharaoh, and Puppet Master were the bands there. Behemoth coming out with that 4th pick from, God, I keep wanting to say Lion almost. You see that Lion tag a couple times.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen that. Anyways, from Team Coolio over here with that. So hey, we've seen bits and pieces of Behemoth. Of course, most recently we got Nier of Reason Gaming playing it and being very successful with it. But Coolio going to give it their best shot here. They definitely have a very aggressive makeup in the making right here.
Yeah. Before we get, I think this is going to be a last pick Kronos for Marcus. I know we haven't seen carry Kronos for a long time, but with the way the draft is sort of setting up, I know it seems really strange, but I think this might be the game for it. It's one of those heroes that can easily shut down the Clanks, and we haven't seen really a lot of heroes that can jump on the Clanks in the back, or sort of back of the fight. Obviously, in Tree's case, they've got heroes like maybe Magmus and Valkyrie that can stand in the front ground, and Doctor's already banned as well. I think they need a hero that can get to the back of Clanks, and Kronos played as a carry might be that they're going to pick up the Dark Blade. It's still a similar lines of getting to the backgrounds. Obviously, the Charging Strikes can get to the back of Clanks very easily. I just thought Kronos could have been the pick to be there, but Dark Blade fulfills a similar role as well. Great, obviously, carry in the late game, but also I think the Charging Strikes, particularly with the Dark Blades as well, can really get to the Clanks, which does so much damage if left unaddressed in a team fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, the Dark Lady, so they do go that very hard carry route, but that is interesting, because, Dark Lady not necessarily the best at locking down heroes, like you think would be good against Glaive, kind of like you're getting now with that Kronos. I mean, sure, she has the slow with the Taint Soul, and then, of course, the silence, but is that going to be the most powerful against an opposition carrying Clanks? I don't know, so, but they feel pretty confident with that in the end, of course, so that's the route that they do go. And now it's the final pick for Tree here. Right-clicking that Electrician for a while now. I wonder if that's something they truly are thinking about. I mean, Purge good against Dark Blades for one, and amongst other things.
Yeah, I think they'll need more of a playmaker though. They ran Electrician before, so they have to have a Curse, which is definitely more of a playmaker, and then they could just run Magmus mid and run their Curse Valkyrie offlane, which we've seen time and time again. So it'll be Antro Clanks in a short lane, Magmus will solo mid, Curse and Valkyrie or aggressive offlane, and go from there. It has to be that Coolio must see this coming. They've seen it time and time again on Honcast. Archtiger said himself that he knows how Tree play, so they have to realise that this is coming, and can they deal with it is the question. So they've got Rhapsody, Behemoth, Dark Lady, most likely in the defensive tri-lane. I don't know if they have the kill potential though. Valkyrie can limp over the Fisher from Behemoth, then obviously they've got a Curse to box him out as well. And with running this Behemoth as their secondary support, they don't really have the greatest harassment potential either, because it's only the Rhapsody, and Rhapsody's most likely going to get boxed out by both the Curse and Valkyrie if the trades of harassment start coming out. So I think the biggest thing, if this lane is going to be won or not, is going to be coming from the pool. So Tree definitely have to make sure that they try and block that. Yeah.
So we'll see how the laning phase develops here. Of course, a pause. Want to be a game with a competitive game, that is, without the pause to kick things off here. So again, guys, let's. I want to kind of go over here while we are on this pause. So here we are, the beginning of the playoffs. So really, guys, take advantage of this portal that we have here. HonTour.com. You click on the banner and follow us HonTour.com/events/playoffs. It is a great website with all the information you could possibly need on this tournament, including the full schedule, the brackets, all the teams participating. And speaking of the schedule, again, I'll actually pull it up right here for you guys while we are in the pause to get an idea as well. Again, you can go to this website if you like yourself. But this is the full schedule for Group A right here that is coming at you. So, of course, kicking off with Willowkeeper versus Coolio. On Thursday, it's going to be Fresh versus Night Raid. Now, that match, as far as the time is concerned, they're still trying to finalize the time. Of course, Night Raid is an American team. And, with the 12 p.m. on a Friday in the afternoon, it could cause some issues as far as being in school, whatever. So they might be rescheduling that as far as to a later time, so that'll be there. But as you can see, everything for the most part pretty much planned out there, though, I should say, as far as the dates. And again, by the end of this weekend, so it's Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, will be the finals of Group A. We'll see which 2 teams are advancing on. Of course, that's so 2 teams. There will be no grand finals for the individual group. There is no point, as against the top tier team, they'll be the first seed going to the next stage, and then the second seed will go into the next stage at the lower part. So, and then so Group B, the same story, but next week, as you can see right here with their teams, and then here's the final playoff bracket again. Seed 1 from A versus Seed 2 from B, and then vice versa on the bottom portion. It's just straight up best of 3 initially into the grand finals, where it will be a best out of 5, and that takes place on March 1st. As you can see right there, a best out of 5 series coming at you to determine who goes to the World Finals in Thailand. So there's kind of a quick breakdown right there as far as the whole playoffs. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the format. It really, spread out very nicely. We got 3 weeks here of good coverage, good content. It gets teams allowed to practice a little bit and, know their opponents and whatnot. And, hey, weekday matches are pretty fun as well. So, kind of a pace.
There's nothing better than coming back from work knowing that you're going to at least cast them on, man.
Exactly.
Makes the week a little less depressing.
Let me actually, for some reason, my Han's not showing up here. Give me a second, guys. Might need to restart.
Also, by the way, one quick thing as well. I think, to me anyway, it sounds like you cut out for like 2 or 3 seconds just on audio. Or, like, it only happens like once every like 10 minutes or so. But if you ask me a question, I'm really slow to reply, probably because I haven't heard you.
Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's all good. Just because it was happening a little bit in the interview, and I was like, and then you said mini. I was like, I don't know if you was waiting for me, but it's all good though. We're all good.
Hopefully we're good.
But yeah, so in talking about the lineup and the draft here though, so. Obviously, the only reason why I was thinking about the Kronos though is I think it's one of the best things to really shut down Clanks, obviously, because the Dark Lady is going to be good, but Clanks will still have a way of really either fighting back or at least running away, particularly if a Curse is on the ball in terms of sort of giving him the fire shield, for example. Whereas I thought Kronos, you could jump in, ult him, and almost kill the Clanks by himself, practically. But, I mean, with the Dark Lady here, at least it offers probably his laning phase a little bit better. If it was a Kronos, for example, might have trouble, particularly against this aggressive dual lane that Tree are going to be running. At least now he can get a couple of CS with Taint Soul and Hatchet if things do go badly, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dark Lady is definitely one of those powerful carries when it comes to that. Despite being that melee carry, exactly, you could go aggressive against her, in a sense, try to screw her over, but yeah, with that Taint Soul, with that Hatchet, she's still able to at least get a couple of creep kills here and there. So, yeah, Marcus Moore, the one playing that here. Super KG's on Kraken, by the way. Again, stepping in for Coolio here.
I think just because of the roles or the players and the roles, I think Super KG is going to play mid and sometimes plays the offlane. He normally plays Suicide from what I recall as well. I think this is probably benefit Coolio just a little bit because Kraken should have no problems against Magnus. I think both three will tread quite evenly, and Valkyrie won't be able to get boxed out too much from Andrew because obviously he can dodge the comments done with the take cover and normally can box out Andrew by himself anyway. So I think the way the lanes are present, from what I can foresee, Coolio should be okay in the laning phase, except for the aggressive dual lane. I think it's the only lane that can go wrong here for Coolio.
Yeah. All right, well, here we go. Finally kicking things off here, officially game number 1 of our round of 4 matchup here from Group A. Once again, the playoffs coming at you for Hontour Season 3. So Tree all 5 sending down to the bottom lane. You got currently only Dark Lady headed down here, actually, for Coolio. So needs to be a little bit careful not to get in a bad spot. But, again, if you've done your research, you play against a team like Tree before, again, just watching the replays, you know that they love to do this, especially they don't run the jungle lever, so they like to go block off the opposition when it comes to their jungle and whatnot. So, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
Rhapsody
needs to be careful not to go a little too far. Yeah, she had some good distance, though, so going to be fine in the end. You only see the one Ward of Sight so far plays by Fuse. An interesting Ward of Sight, actually, off to the side here, and giving them some vision just in case over there.
Yeah, so this is the ward on the pool camp, and this is exactly what I said as well. Like, they need to make sure that this pool camp is locked down, because otherwise, I think Coolio will have probably the upper hand in this lane down bottom. But with that pool camp, this behemoth isn't really going to do too much, honestly. So I think the biggest priority here for Coolio is to make sure that they unblock this ward, because behemoth won't be able to box out the aggressive dual lane, and then they won't have a kill potential either. So his real effectiveness in this lane is going to be very, very limited unless this pool camp is unblocked.
Yeah. Here we go. The Rhapsody and Behemoth already setting up pretty aggressively. I'm intrigued to see, you know, we've already seen the true power of the Accursed Valkyrie lane. Now it's nearly unkillable, but especially got going up against the tri-lane now. How it handles its own, you know, Andromeda, of course, is in the area. As if she might be going over there. She's going to counter ward initially. She does have a rev ward still on her.
So they're going to just run a normal aggressive tri-lane then. I think this actually might... Oh no, she's running back. I don't know what Fusion's doing. I think she's just scared of getting picked off, actually. That's the biggest thing. Yeah. I think. Oh, she actually does a nice rev ward, actually. So that's going to count as ever in vision, actually. And now I don't think... Coolio have no idea if she's going to run back top or run back bottom. And she's actually going to go top. Yeah, I was going to say, I think actually if she stayed down bottom, I think that might be a tiny bit in favour of Coolio. Because they could still get last hits and farm on the Dark Lady, as we've mentioned previously. But also gives Bubbles at least a favourable matchup 1v1. So she's going to run back top.
Yep, going all the way back to the top lane again. Kraken versus Magnus is your middle lane matchup here. Super KG versus Kraken there in that middle matchup. So keep an eye on that creep score. But no doubt, this bottom lane is definitely, again, going back to being the intriguing one now here. So, like you said, they decided to say, screw it, we're going to send Andromeda top. We're going to leave it to Valkyrie and Accursed. Again, going to see their true power, perhaps. They are going against 3. Definitely Behemoth is a scary hero to go against because that fissure stun, so... But
yeah, it's not good. It's not going to be a scary thing though in this matchup because the Curse will just stay behind Valkyrie, and Valkyrie has the leap over the Fissure anyway. Like this is what I thought that was going to happen. Like Behemoth literally has been standing here for the last 2 minutes, really having no effect, cannot box him out, and cannot go for the kill either. But they are going here now, but I don't think she's going to be in trouble though. She shouldn't be in trouble.
She's being silenced, but yeah, in the end she's going to be fine. Exactly. I mean, Accursed only level 1 there, so only had enough for the Fire Shield. Of course, no cauterize just yet, but yeah, not going to matter in the end. Pops the health potion, going to be fine now. Of course, Coolio can definitely do that again at least one more time. You do see a couple of mana potions even on Behemoth, making sure they have the opportunity to rinse and repeat that in a sense. Is what that comes down to. So you see, right? I mean, so far, Dark Lady's 8-3 against a Valkyrie who's 6-2. So really, again, for Tree, it comes down to just stay alive, if anything. And, you know, try to get some farm at least here on Valkyrie, but...
Yeah. The regen, though, here for Coolio is actually dropping quite a bit. Dark Lady has no more regen left, neither does Rhapsody. I think that's the most scariest thing, because although Marcus Moore is actually doing pretty decent in the last hits, that's going to be dramatically reduced unless they start pulling regen over here straight away. But, I mean, for Boxy, like, he's doing fine. He's getting XP, he's getting good farm. That's all he really needs to do in this lane, like, as you said. They're shutting down Dark Lady compared to, say, like maybe a 350 GPM if he had like a free farm lane. So, I think for Tree, anyway, the lane's going fine.
Again, he got Behemoth. He's trying to be sneaky, but this ward of sight giving all the information needed. And I'm pretty sure Coolio is not even aware that there's even some vision over here. It's you know, Tree's not playing it defensive enough to give them that information, in my opinion. You kind of see right now Valkyrie maybe falling back. Yeah, they know something might be up, but again, still feeling pretty comfortable. They got the Accursed back up, the leap on Valkyrie. It's just so difficult to deal with here. Middle lane, a little back and forth from Kraken and
Rhapsody,
but back to the bottom lane. Rhapsody gets caught. What just happened right there? She got arrowed? Oh
yeah,
my
she got
gosh.
arrowed, and then just nothing way out of it. And this is what I was saying, like, just this pull camp has still been blocked for the last 3.5 minutes, and just this Behemoth has just done nothing. He's been watching this lane, honestly. Like, he's done nothing other than throw a Fissure out or two that really hasn't done anything. They needed to unblock this pull camp, and they really haven't. And when they actually give away first blood, the aggressive dual lane versus a tri-lane, things are looking grim.
Yeah. It's crazy, too, because I literally just went away to the middle lane right as that initiation must have happened, and sure enough, a second later I go back, and Rhapsody's basically dead already, so, yeah, just catching her with the arrow, and that's got to be pretty bad news for Coolio. Because, again, if anything, the game plan for Tree was just stay alive, not necessarily pick up hero kills. But now they're starting to get into that bonus side of things. Of, hey, they got a hero kill now. You do see they are going to counter with this ward of sight. It's one of those situations, though. It was pretty low already. But, again, remember, there is that new situation where supports, they place a ward. If it lasts the full duration, they even get the money back or partial money back. So it will take away at least a little bit there. And still worth the counter word, you could say, but...
But yeah, this aggressive dual lane though is just doing far too much. Boxy actually has more fun than Marcus Moore now after that kill, and they're shotting him down really, really well. It's just that this Behemoth hasn't done anything, honestly. Like, he hasn't. I thought maybe because he hasn't been able to get anything down bottom, maybe he'd rotate mid or even top for a gank. But Storyfoot just hasn't been able to find anything in the first 5 minutes of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah. Can't do too much. It's still level 1. That's never a good situation on a hero like... I mean, again, Behemoth is one of these heroes where, sure, even at level 1, still brings quite a bit to the table with that Fissure Stone, but as the game starts to scale up here, it's going to start becoming less and less efficient.
Oh!
Safe to say. Is that the arrow missing?
The arrow was just... Yeah. If he hit him, he was so dead. Middle lane, though.
Middle lane, we got some initiation on Kraken. There's a stop from Behemoth, though. Well, at least Kraken comes out. It's not going to really set up anything in return, but the fact that he lived is pretty big news.
That's really nice stun.
Behemoth happened to be there, I mean.
Yeah, stop the eruption channel from Kraken. A really nice play, actually. So, like, even something like that is just a little bit better than just having no impact in this lane. But the pool camp now is unblocked, but they definitely should have done it a lot earlier. Oh, Dark Lane knew he was dropping there, but it should be fun.
See Valkyrie able to dive a little bit. But yeah, the fact that Behemoth was even there definitely caught them off guard, I'm sure.
See, that's exactly. So you didn't say anything, and I thought I was going to carry on talking, but that was the little issue that happened there. Sorry about that. But yeah, pool camp unblocked now. I think this is where Behemoth should start pulling though, because they need to at least have a little bit more advantage here in this bottom lane.
Yeah, that definitely would make sense. I mean, so again, despite Behemoth, able to play defensively and save Kraken's life, again, the fact that he's still level 1 remains right here, and could cause to be a pretty big issue for Coolio if they don't address that here in the near future. You look at the gold per minute chart, it's definitely looking much more comfortable for Tree currently. They have 3 heroes over 300 gold per minute. On the other side, you got Kraken, who's about 340 gold per minute. So Super KG definitely holding his own here. Looking pretty good. Dark Lady, though, about 260. And again, the idea that, sure, a Cursed Valkyrie is not the friendliest lane, but you were a tri-lane technically. So the fact that she isn't having that great a farm is for Coolio as well. But Andromeda, okay, never mind. I thought she was going to try something there, but again, with just her and Tarkin, there's no way they would get anything. She places a pretty defensive ward there. Make sure no one's coming over. Speaking of coming over, Magnus is here. They're going to look to collapse now. Rhapsody and Darkity could both be in trouble. If he lands an arrow, no, not even going to go for it. So it's not worth the waste of mana and the cooldown. I'll just guarantee the Rhapsody kill and be done with that. So more kills, only 2 kills in total, but still another kill happening for a tree right there. Kraken rotating top, actually. Oh.
Oh.
Is Bubbles? No. My sidestep.
Yeah, so just really nice play though from Tree. They're really controlling this laning phase completely. It just goes back to the aggressive dual laner. This is a Cursed Valkyrie just doing so much. It really is breaky, and it's not too bad at least because Marcus Moore hasn't died. He's getting, I guess, okay farm on this Dark Lady, but I think it's actually more worse for the Rhapsody and the Behemoth. Like, what are they going to do come the mid game because they haven't got anything from the laning phase?
Yeah, and again, Dark Hoodie, she's got her Ghost Marchers now, but still a lot of room to go to feel like she's going to be pretty effective here. So, I really think the answer is just going to be on Kraken. Kraken's going to have a pretty big impact here. They also got a level 6 Bubbles, so it seems like now, if any, would be a pretty prime time to start making plays. And speaking of that, Kraken runs into Magnus now. I don't know if Magnus is going to feel confident. Yeah, especially with the
There was no follow-up. Yeah, Andro was just a little bit too far away there to really have any impact, but
would have been able to get away, so no point in going. Still a level 1 Behemoth in the meantime. He has a double damage rune. Again, going to try to set something up. He actually picks up boots as well. The fact that he's been able to get that, pretty surprising, but just sitting on the natural gold going up, and he doesn't even have a creep kill, so
I mean, here for Coolio, I think the only way they can really maybe potentially start doing well in this bottom lane is they have to rotate Bubbles over to try and set up again. Kraken, I don't think is going to be enough because I don't think they are going to have the initiation without the portal key from Kraken. But with Bubbles and the Kelt field, I think that might be enough to sort of tip the scale to at least get 1 kill, whether it's on the Valkyrie or not. And it is exactly on time break. This is the Bubbles, and this should be the right play to make right now.
Here's a chance. Behemoth, wrong side of Valkyrie, but they will catch a curse. He's not level 6 yet, so don't expect a flame consumption. Here's a TP in there from Willowkeeper, and even without that level 6, a curse is still tanky. The turnaround on that level 1 Behemoth. He goes down. Kelfield finally used, but it's a very defensive Kelfield. Valkyrie, she's not going to chase. Can't really. Magnus got here a little bit late. That could have been much worse for Coolio, to be fair. In fact, it still could be pretty bad, as Magnus is definitely looking for another opportunity. Behemoth is already back. Again, being level 1. Respawns really quickly, but never mind.
Oh, man. That was disaster there for Coolio. They had the right intention, they had the right thing, but execution was just a little bit off. They took a little bit too long to really get the jump there, and I think Tree, I think they expected it as well. Whenever Coolio was sort of running at them, they instantly backed off, and Bubbles, I think, missed a shell surf as well, and just good TP rotations as well from Foods, and really set that up. So
Yeah.
Tree, they're really on form, and they really want this, without a doubt. Looking strong.
Yeah, again, they know what's on the line here, and sure, it's a double elimination if anything, but you can tell they're focused. They're the team to beat here in Group A at least, and they want to go to Thailand. They've been proving that all throughout the season so far, and it starts right here against Coolio, and yeah, most certainly looking very, very powerful. Not too surprised to see that. You see Andromeda's kind of been sitting down there, so it really has been a trial in once again for Willowkeeper. But again, all across the board looking very good. Valkyrie herself is farming very well, 360. But then you got Magnus at 380. And then, of course, Clanks, by the way, can't forget about him, as Baltazar is doing his thing on Clanks. 407 plus gold per minute. Has a Nullstone very well in the works. And expect that to be coming up. Even look what they're doing down here back to the bottom lane. They're just stealing the pole camp right here. They know that there's not much that Coolio can really do about that. Again, when you still have a level 1 behemoth, I mean, the fact that a hero's still level 1 11 minutes into the game, you're not going to have the best chance of winning, honestly. That's just,
yeah.
I don't care what hero it is. He's just going to be food for the enemy, and really not much of an impact, ultimately, in this game, at least at this point, so...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all going to come out on this Kraken, though. Can Kraken get an early portal key to really try and have an impact in this game? Kraken's already picked up his, which is obviously a slight worry already. But if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be 2kg. He's going to really have to try and set up some plays. Magnus, though, coming in. This is the pincer move. Behemoth might be in trouble.
They're going for that's like I said, food for the enemy. Now, he will survive initially, but he's definitely going to be picked off in the end, yeah. I was seeing Dark Lady actually use Charge Strikes. I thought she might have been getting chased, but no, she actually gets away and runs away very quickly. Yeah, again, Kraken, he's almost kind of doing his own thing here. And
yeah, he can't do anything without portal key, and he's doing the right thing as well, trying to steal stacks away from Clanks. And he actually stopped it. Is he trying to man up?
He's trying to, but he doesn't have mana for releasing Kraken. Even if he switches Steam Boots, I think he might have used Steam Boots, but still, I don't know if that would have been enough. Yeah, he felt like, well. I mean,
I think he must have.
Yeah, Clanks couldn't cancel, so.
Yeah, I think he must. Either it was a misclick or Andrew, or he thought maybe Magnus or Andrew would have been. Maybe that must be the only thing I could think of. But yeah.
Well, he tried to make the play. I mean, that just goes back to the really unfortunately for Coolio that he was doing the right thing. That you're saying that sure, kind of playing his own game, but he needed that portal key. He stole the triple stack camp. It was nice. I mean, takes away farm from Clanks if anything, but yeah, dying there doesn't help things either in the long run.
Yeah, and I think it all goes back to that bottom lane though. Like they didn't get the D-board on the pool camp, and they didn't get any levels on the Behemoth, and they weren't able to really have any impact against the Aquarius Valkyrie lane because Behemoth was just so low level. They didn't really prioritize the D-board, and it's such a simple thing as well, but it's having such disastrous impact throughout the stage of the game already.
Yeah. Dark Lady. Got pretty aggressive there with her farm. Again, it is just Clanks currently, but I could definitely see Tree porting up here, looking to set something up. I mean, Bubbles is here as well, but if Tree has the numbers, that's not going to turn out good for Coolio. So there's a portal key. You got the Steam Boots finish on Magnus. He's obviously got very efficient early game farm here, and going to look to try to use it. In fact, he also pops his double damage rune that he happened to have bottled up. He could run into somebody right here. Bubbles, will he scout Magnus initially? Is the question. Meanwhile, Rhapsody gets picked off as Valkyrie and a Curse find her back to the top lane. Here we go. Kelfield's used. Dark Lady and Bubbles are realizing very quickly that was a mistake. They tried to pick off Clanks, and Bubbles barely gets out. Steam Bath almost enough, but not. But yeah, just like I said, all five all of a sudden here for Tree. They were ready for that almost.
Yeah, I mean, it was the right play to make from Coolio. They knew they had to do something because times were looking very, very, very grim. And it was, yeah, it's hard when you're this far behind and Trio just that on the ball. Like, there's not much you can really do, honestly, other than find out what went wrong in game one and go on to a game two, because it is getting to that point right now, breaking.
Yeah. It's, that 15-minute mark is definitely coming up pretty quickly right here. You got the portal key, though, on Super KG playing the Kraken. So he has a chance now to try to make a big play. Now, Kelfield is down, unfortunately, for the next 60 seconds. Of course, Behemoth, don't expect a shockwave from him anytime soon. He is still only level 3 at this point, so leveling, but still not there. Also, Dark Hoodie, for that matter, doesn't have Recover of Darkness yet. Again, not too surprising, but another kind of tool that they're missing out on for the time being. Rhapsody coming in with the Veiled Rot. She's going to run right into Magnus, though. Can Magnus hit in time? No, he can't. Instead, he'll start to run away. Obviously, numbers are there now for Coolio. They want to make sure to not let these get stolen. Not going to go all out on them, though, with that said. They know that Tree's nearby, of course, and so they're pretty scared. about Tree and their initiation, and I guess that's for good reason. With where we're at.
Yeah, Tree are just so far ahead that you're not scared. Oh, they're going in there.
Can he get his R off? No! He could not get the flag. Got top jump on one, and eruption coming out right there. It doesn't matter. I mean, Accursed is a bait hero in a lot of senses. He didn't survive, but hey, still it doesn't matter. The genocide. Oh boy, and that's probably the time to say like, okay, let's move on.
That's the GG moment right there, Brokey. I mean, Crack Eruption is perfect position as well. He's stationed around the observatory, like waiting for something like that to happen. And Coolio, I mean, they had to obviously sort of stack up to try and get the kill on the Curse, but yeah, I mean, Tree, particularly in this game, just outclassing Coolio.
So how do you deal with that, though? Again, they even ran a tri-lane against this Accursed Valkyrie, and overall it's a decent one, but...
Well, first, there's two ways you can play it. Either you completely just go trade farm for farm, but then almost you're getting farm in the jungle by either having a jungler like Tempest or like a Parasite or Ophelia, or even you could. I mean, they could have done it this game as well, but like I said, they didn't deward the pool, so if Behemoth could not get farm on the heroes, they would have been fine if it was just 2v2 while Behemoth's off pulling or whatever. Not only would that give him farm, but it would also take away from Tree's farm in the offlane as well. Or you just send a you send like a suicide hero against it. For example, I mean, they had to run the lanes as they did in this game, Coolio did. But for example, if you send like a Bubbles down there, then you're trading farm a Valkyrie a Curse lane for a Bubbles, which would probably get the same amount of farm, because what's a Curse going to do? A Curse is not going to box out Bubbles. And then as a result, a Curse is already sitting in that lane doing nothing. So either you contest it with farm, like you cannot kill that lane really, in the lanes. You just simply can't kill that lane, it's just too strong. So either you trade farm or you just... you sack the lane by putting like a Bubbles or some other suicide just to get experience, for example, because you simply aren't going to win it in terms of getting kills.
Yeah, so you kind of hope that Coolio, do some quick learning right here, quick adaptations, what it's going to need to happen. Bubbles in the meantime, top lane. Oh, he almost got away actually, but not enough to get away right there. You see the hastened Magnus, he's also chasing a little bit more, but Kraken able to port a key before he also gets caught. So, Coolio, again, they're clearly in the very, very down spot here of this is not looking good in terms of a positive outcome for them, and it's just going to get worse. No, Kalenx is not going to chase. He wanted to be safe right there, just in case people were porting in, which they weren't. It just so happened, but just in case. So he decides to fall back, and knowing that he's very far ahead right now, 575 gold per minute Kalenx. You got the opposition Dark Lady only at 215 gold per minute. No fire play picked up on Valkyrie right here. So again, it's definitely a good tool. I mentioned with the Electrician possible pick, they decided to go with the Curse instead. But again, having the No Fire Blade will be able to remove the Dark Blades, amongst just being a pretty good tool overall. Pretty solid item on a hero like Valkyrie. So it's going to take advantage of that here. Kraken coming in with that Invis. Trying to set some jump up here. Now, he's Invis, but Bubbles is not. So you can tell that Tree might think something's up right here. I mean, obviously that they want to defend it at the very least. It's just a matter of when and will they initiate. It's bound to happen. Magnus, that was a good spot.
They can't kill Valkyrie though, because the Curse is just sitting behind him. I don't see it unless Kraken does some godly charge to take Valkyrie away from a Curse. But I just don't see it. But I guess they have to try something. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's they don't got many options here. It's the fact that they're continuing to definitely give this a fighting effort, which they have every right to, of course, is one thing. But if you're going to do that, you can't just play a very passive game and expect things to just randomly change. You got to take those chances. So they set up as if they were going to try for something right there. In the end, they do fall back, just not feeling comfortable enough. They're going to end up also losing their middle tower. Well, maybe not. Maybe not their middle tower, but they lost the secondary top at least, and you see Tree right now is just going to start taking their resources as well, and that's just a bad thing.
This is where Trees start warding up and start taking over the map, the whole map practically, and just really restrict Coolio's place to farm. You see this ward of sight on the left of the mid tier 2 that protects. August dying at bottom.
Yeah, he hit a 5-second arrow. I'm pretty sure. I caught that as she was in the stun, so I'm guessing he just happened to hit a 5-second arrow. And
must have. I didn't catch it, but Rapsy dying mid as well.
Magnus dumping in. Is it going to be
enough? Control the map 3. They're going to ward up. They'll just ward up, control the map, and just restrict Coolio to their base. And then whenever they're ready to go high ground with either a Kongol kill, with most likely with the Abyssal Skull now on Curse, they can start taking Kongol, and then maybe put it on Valkyrie or Clanks, most probably Clanks, and then just go high ground with that. They got two good wards really to sort of see any movements here from Coolio, so they just can't go out their base without dying.
That is the thing, and now Kongor, because why not? Tree again, they're the ones that are in control. They're the ones saying, hey, if you want to keep playing, we'll keep playing as well. And again, they're here to win and get that trip to Thailand. Again, starts here, still a long road ahead of them, but got to start somewhere, and they're looking strong here. They're going to get Kongor. This is, of course, going to guaranteed happen. Who they give the token to probably doesn't even really matter, to be fair, but it looks like Clanks, of course, is going to be that option. And picks it up. He's got the Geosbane with a Null Stone, another 800 plus gold saved up. He's nearing the 600 gold per minute mark now. As only 20.5 minutes in. So, again, you see where the spot Coolio's continuing to be at. They're just all babysitting this Dark Lady at the bottom lane. She's barely getting a couple of creep kills here. Under that 200 gold per minute mark now even. Valkyrie's sitting in the front lines like, attack me, I dare you to. Try to kill me. As you stated earlier, though, it's near impossible, especially at this rate. When you got a curse in the background, your farm is just so underwhelming. And now we got to pause to kick it off here, or to keep things going for Tree. So I want to make sure that we got the right strategy going in.
Yeah.
Skype issue, all right.
So I guess just what can Coolio do in different for a game 2? First of all, I think they. It's hard to say though, because I mean I think they could have even. I mean the draft wasn't too bad honestly from Coolio. They had ways to really play around it depending on how they did that in terms of their lanes. Kraken did fine mid. It was, I mean, Super KG played fine. He was trading equal farm with Cracker in the middle lane as he should. Bubbles was doing fine as well top. It just was the bottom lane that they just got completely just demolished in. And maybe they just weren't used to playing against it or just wasn't aware of it. But saying just it's hard to say. Like maybe I don't think they should ban a curse. It's just that they almost need to be prepared for what's going to happen. But for a game 2. It's hard. There has to be a lot of change just in the next couple of minutes, but they're going in though.
That arrow misses right there. Release Kraken in the background, catches Magnus initially, but he tablets out. He stuns back into it, but he got the stun on a couple of heroes. 3 are dead just like that. Rhapsody and Behemoth, the lone survivors. The GGs are being called here. Again, so they gave it another final shot there, but clearly it's just way too much firepower on the side of Tree. I mean, it was basically like a 25,000 golden experience at that point even. So, game 1. Game 1 goes to Tree. Only 1 death in total happened to be on a cursed earlier on. Again, just total control right there. They obviously played very well, like a team that's determined to win here and move along. Where, you know, kind of, that's where we're unsure about Coolio. Sure, they sounded high. They sounded pretty much ready, but when you're running a team that, you know, is having constant roster issues, even leading into the playoffs and the constant swapping around and whatnot, it's bound to affect your overall team play as individually